Thank you, Mr Speaker. I'm very happy to take a quick call on this bill too, and certainly to address the issue raised by the member who's just resumed his seat, and another very clear play with statistics by Mr Hipkins when he said that the duration of loan repayment has actually reduced since the introduction of interest-free student loans, which conveniently overlooks the fact that an unsustainably large proportion of student loan debt is not repaid at all and therefore can't be measured. 49 cents of every dollar not being repaid when this government took office. I'm very pleased that it's gone down to 43 cents, and the measures that are introduced by this bill will further... yes, that's right, another very clever play on statistics. If you don't repay at all, then that doesn't get included in the denominator. Now, I also want to raise the issue and reassure Mr Nash that the issue of the contact point is in fact a red herring. They are not being asked to do anything else but be a contact point. There's no guarantee obligations on them or any other burden. But I'm sure that will be raised during Select Committee. I support the bill.
Chris Farfoy.
Mr Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak on this bill. As has been said on this side of the House a number of times during this debate, we support the overall intent of this bill, but there is some concern around the reduction of the repayment holiday from 3 years down to 1. But we shouldn't take away from the overall thrust of the bill that it does seek to encourage the quicker repayment of student loans. I think my colleague Chris Hipkins himself alluded to the fact that he may be still... I think it was Gareth Hughes alluded to the fact that he is still repaying his and I am still repaying mine, and that we should encourage all New Zealanders Carmel Sepuloni has just finished paying hers. We should encourage all New Zealanders who do have a student loan to make sure they can repay it as fast as they can, because when those students enter a contract with the Crown to take out a loan to enter tertiary education, there is an obligation on their behalf to make sure that they do pay it back, and I do take the point of the member speaking before me that there are a large number of people who do take out a loan who may in fact have no intent of paying it back at any stage whatsoever. Nonetheless, we do support the efforts to recoup loans and ensure that the commitments that students make when they do take out a student loan and their obligations are met. But we do want to ensure that any changes that are made to the laws around the student loan repayments are fair for all students and people who do leave university. We think that it's fair that borrowers do provide a contact for the IRD if they do go overseas, to make sure that there is somebody in New Zealand that can be contacted if you are overseas. I know that in my situation, when I went overseas, I did not have that kind of contact here, and it would have been beneficial for the Inland Revenue Department to have had that contact person here. I think it's also a common sense move that borrowers cannot offset any business or investment loss to reduce their obligations under repayment obligations, and I think that is a good move in the effect that it makes sure that all New Zealanders, regardless of their ability to change or influence their own income, pay their fair share of their student loan repayments. But I just did want to reiterate our opposition to the change from 3 years to 1 year for the holiday repayment. I think Chris Hipkins has already alluded to the fact that Treasury thinks that this will not increase the improvement rate for people repaying their student loans. And in fact, they did say in some budget documents that I think that this will encourage people to stay away from New Zealand, in fact, and that may be unfair, and it also may discourage people away from going on the OEs at all. As I say, those Treasury documents did say that there would be little evidence that this will improve repayment rates, so we on this side of the House are going to support this to Select Committee, but we only do that because we're hoping to have that particular part of the bill removed, and that's why I stand before the House in support of the bill so far, but only to Select Committee stage, Mr Speaker.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. Party vote. The clerk will conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
57 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
42 votes in favour.
Green Party.
9 votes opposed.
ACT New Zealand.
5 votes in favour.
Māori Party.
Toko toru e tautuku ana.
Progressive.
1 vote in favour.
United Future. Mana.
Opposed?
Honourable Chris Carter.
1 vote opposed.
Any other votes?
Ayes are 109, noes are 11. The motion is agreed to.
Mr Speaker.
Honourable Peter Dunn.
Mr Speaker, I move that the Student Loan Scheme Amendment Bill be referred to the Finance and Expenditure Committee.
Question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. Call on Government Order of the Day number 2.
Natural Health Products Bill, first reading.